Hey guys, what's up? It's Snake here, and if you recall, just a couple days ago I had said I had a very special episode planned for you. All I had to do was go procure a specific cable that was going to work some magic. Unfortunately, the cable does not do exactly what I expected it to, so I had to go and return that. And I'm going to do a little bit more research. Maybe there's some sort of program I can run on my computer or something to at least falsify what I was trying to do. But first, Frank said he wanted to help me out with this episode, so Frank, unfortunately this is going to hurt a little bit. So what I wanted to do, what I had planned to do with the cable was I was going to hook it up to my iPhone and play some Call of Duty Zombies on the iPhone and show you what it looks like and just talk about different things. Obviously there's some differences on the iPhone. You know, it's made to be a little bit easier. The zombies are a little bit weaker. And things like that. The guns, I don't know if the guns are more powerful or what it is, but obviously, you know, you need to be able to move around a bit easier, and you're not using a regular controller, you're using the touchpad or you're using the tilt motions in order to control it. There's actually 3 different types of controls you can use for the iPhone, and one is just the 2 sticks, I guess is the best way to describe it. It's still a touch screen, obviously, but the bottom left of your screen is the touch screen for the left analog stick, and then the bottom right is for the right analog stick, and then you also tap the right analog stick in order to shoot. And then the other way you can do it is you use the left stick still, but then the right one, instead of a right stick, you use your finger just to swipe across the screen to turn around and things like that, which I find a little bit too difficult compared to using the 2 sticks, which I think is the best, or at least the most versatile. The third way, which works, it depends. It works on depending on how much movement you can be doing while you're playing with your iPhone. The third one is you use the left analog stick still. The right analog stick is for shooting and things like that, and then you actually tilt the remote left or right to move around. And if you've got, you know, free motion in order to do that, it actually works even better than using the 2 analog sticks, or the 2 fake analog sticks, or whatever you want to say, or however you want to call it. But anyway, I've been wanting to do it for a while. Obviously, we've talked about the iPhone versions before, the iPhone and iPad versions before, when we've discussed the storyline, because as you recall in Shin Onuma, for the iPhone version, there is no hanging man. Peter's not hanging from the noose in the spawn area. He actually has a grave site that you have to go dig up once you get the shovel. And of course we find out that Peter's not there either, but the DG2 is. So it may or may not give you the possibility of actually having 2 DG2s when you're playing multiplayer. Of course I haven't played multiplayer yet on the iPhone, just because I would prefer obviously to do it with Bluetooth, because you can either connect through Bluetooth or you can connect through Wi-Fi and play with somebody from anywhere else around the world. But up until now, you haven't been able to talk to the people you play with. But just recently, something big has happened in the zombie universe, and that is that now they have released Black Ops Zombies for the iPhone. So it's pretty exciting. I've been playing Kino, which is obviously why I'm playing Kino now, and it's a lot of fun. And just like they did with last year with the World at War Zombies for the iPhone, they released the first map, and then, you know, the second map will come out in a couple months, and then the third, and so on. Now they did something a little bit different. Obviously, when you play Black Ops on a system, you start with Kino, and then you have to go into the computer and type in DOA or whatever it is to unlock Dead Ops. And so similar to that, in the iPhone version, you have to search through the different areas on the menus, like going into settings and difficulty and things like that, looking for pieces of a coin. And once you get all the pieces of the coin together, you unlock Dead Ops, and you're able to play that as well. Now, unlike Black Ops, 5 is not available in the iPhone version. Of course, if you remember when we played Black Ops right at the beginning, the only way you could get 5 was by beating the storyline or the campaign. Just like in World at War, you had to beat the campaign to get Nocta and Toten unlocked. But eventually they just unlocked it for everybody, even the people who don't play the campaign. Now my guess is maybe 5 is hidden away somewhere in the iPhone, and you either have to get to a certain level on Kino, or maybe you have to beat the Cosmic Silverback on Dead Ops or something. So I'm not exactly sure. I'm going to keep playing the games and see if I can figure it out. Because the next map is not 5, the one they have slotted. It shows coming soon, probably within the next month or so, is going to be Ascension. So that's kind of exciting to see how that works, to see the monkeys come down in the iPhone version. Now, of course, we've talked about before, just like I was saying with Peter not being the hanging man in the iPhone version for Shin Onuma, There's some differences, of course, in the Black Ops version as well between the two, between the console version and the iPhone version. The first obvious one, of course, is that when you're running between, like right between the theater, where you get Juggernog and the Bowie knife, and then you go up into the spawn area. Instead of just going straight into the spawn area, there's actually an extra room where there's this I don't even want to say spiral staircase, but this loop, this multi-level loop that you can go through. And so they've added that for some reason. I don't know why that's there necessarily. It doesn't make anything easier, and it definitely doesn't make anything harder either. But for whatever reason, I don't know if it was space or things just didn't look right or whatever it is. The other interesting thing too is in the iPhone version, and maybe this is because for the app, it's a universal app, or I shouldn't say universal, but it's a global app. So anyone who has the iPhone and can connect to the iPhone store is able to buy it. So because of that, they can't make regulations as far as if you're in Germany or wherever. So they switched it so they take off all the swastikas, just like they do in the German versions of the game, where without the swastikas, instead they replace it with the Third Reich's eagle. Which is an interesting thing. I mean, obviously, you know, it's a very touchy subject over in Germany, and it's something that they obviously, you know, still talk about today. Or I mean, it's still in the air. So it's nice to see that obviously that Treyarch or Activision is very respectful of borders and things like that. But anyway, the next thing too is obviously there's 3 different difficulty settings that you can also pick. Just like in the original Call of Duty Zombies for iPhone, the Black Ops one as well, you can pick either easy, normal, or hard. And of course, if you're playing on leaderboards and stuff like that, if you play easy, it doesn't show up, and you're not able to unlock any of the trophies. And of course, the trophies are different too. They're not all the same trophies that you would see in the console version either. One of the trophies, for instance, is called Places Everyone, or Places, or whatever it is, something like that. And what you have to do is pretty much run a rape train on the stage, and you have to get up to 10 zombies on the stage to unlock it. So there's just different things like that. It's kind of neat too, because obviously now they have the Apple, what is it, I forget what it's called, Game Center or something like that, so you can get on there and play with friends, and all the trophies that you unlock show up on there as well. So it's not just, obviously, it's not just the zombie games, but you can also do it for, like, there's the Battleship game, or Words with Friends, or all those other apps that people play. The other thing, too, is the dogs in this. They, you don't really hear them running as much, but you do hear them panting. So it's a little bit more difficult to know when the dogs are running up behind you. But the nice thing is the dogs are much weaker. Their attacks are much weaker in the iPhone version. So even if you can't hear them coming behind you, or you can't see them or whatever, it's not just 2 hits and then you die, or 3 hits or whatever it was. You know, in the console version. The other big difference too is for all the zombies, whether it's dogs or I'm assuming monkeys when Ascension comes out, you're actually able to see like a little ghost face with an arrow pointing left or right, so you know when they're coming just to the left of you or just to the right of you. Because obviously you're not getting surround sound from the iPhone speakers, and you're probably not even getting surround sound when you hook up your regular your headset either, if you're playing with a headset, which I definitely suggest, because the zombies scream a lot. They make a lot of noise, they scream really loud, and it'll probably blow out your iPhone speakers if you play just on that. And also, too, when you're playing on your headset, like I played the Silent Hill game, for instance, and obviously when you're playing mobile games, it's very hard for you to get scared like you would with a console version. But when you have your headphones and you can't hear any other noise, you can't hear just normal stuff that's going on around you, all you hear is the game. So the Silent Hill game is really, really freaky when you have your headphones in. So my guess too is with this game, it's also kind of the same thing. The other cool thing that they added specifically for the Black Ops version that you don't see in the Zombies version, I mentioned it just a little bit ago, but you can actually chat with other people that you're playing with. Even if you're playing Wi-Fi or Bluetooth, you put the headset on and you're actually able to talk to them. So you obviously have to use the headset. Or a similar headset like the one you get with the iPhone, so it's got the chat attached to it as well. But anyway, that looks like all I really wanted to talk about today. I hope you enjoyed this video, even though it's not the iPhone version. And I'm going to keep looking. Maybe I can run some sort of simulator or mod on my computer, and it won't actually be the iPhone version, but you'll at least get to see the graphics and sort of get to see what it looks like and stuff if I can pull that off. But anyway, I did want to add one more thing too before I go. My Game Center tag is the same as my tag on PlayStation and on Xbox and all that stuff. So if you want to add me for the iPhone, it's solidosnaku. And I don't play it too often, but maybe we can figure out some times, and I'll be online on the iPhone, and we can play some zombies together. Oh, and of course, the last thing I should probably add is price. I don't know how much it is on the Android marketplace, but my guess is it's the same. Which both apps are $6.99 each. The nice thing too about the World at War one is you get all 4 maps for that $6.99 price, whereas Black Ops you just get the first 2. But anyway, say goodbye, Frank. Peace out, guys.